Elite Champions DFS. This video is designed for beginners on how to play single game entries like this week 5, Thursday Night Football. Doesn't necessarily have to be for this week, 2001. It could be any week, anywhere. So this video is not time sensitive. If you're a beginner or you do have some experience, this video is designed to help you learn how to play the single entries. Is a lot different than playing like the Sunday games where you have all these games going on. The first thing is it's actually pretty simple to figure out the game. On FanDuel, you have 5 slots. On DraftKings, you have 6. The MVP spot, if you don't pick the MVP and it's the best player, the odds of you winning money or definitely getting first are almost impossible. 99% chance you're not going to do anything. So your best player is always going to have to be the MVP slot. Okay? Put your guy in for the MVP slot, and then you have 5 or 4 more players to put in. Now, I know it sounds pretty simple. So, okay, let's go and let's take Cooper Kupp for this week. And for our let's take Stanford for our quarterback for our MVP, right? So Stanford, Cooper Kupp, and then we'll take Russell Wilson, and then we'll take Metcalf, and then we'll take Lockett, and then we'll take Woods. Awesome. These are some of the best players. The chances are these players are going to get, one of these players are going to get the MVP spot. But as you can see here, on our salary, we are $18,700 overdrawn. So we can't even enter this entry. So you understand, you're going to have to pick, basically you're going to have to pick players that you don't want to pick. Now, how that works is this. All right, we're going to have to take everybody off, but we'll keep Stanford there in our MVP, right? So we can make a stack here. We got Stanford, so let's go ahead and pick up Cooper Kupp. And basically now we're really starting to go down. Our average is $5,125 per player. We got 20,500 left. Yeah, it's getting a little tight here. So we're going to go to the other side on Seattle. Let's take Lockett up. And okay, now we're really down. We got 10,900 left and 3,633 left per player. Now we're really going to have to start going down and really digging at some of these players that are not expected to do well, which we will call sleepers. In this situation, Sony Michel would definitely be a sleeper. He's only 1,800 on DraftKings. And 2 more slots left, 2 more flexes, and $45.50 per player. Now we can go up a little bit. We can grab Jackson. And now we can really afford Swan. Not bad. Really not a bad entry. We got within our salary, and that's really what it's about. We got $100 left in our salary. We do not have to use all of it up. If you got 1,000 or 1,500 left, you don't have to use it. It's up to you. Okay? But we fit in all these players that we wanted to fit in, and we got it in there. That's as simple how to play the game. It's not really complex, but that's how it is. Now, let's talk about strategies. How do we actually win this game? I'm going to teach you some strategies that I don't hear anybody talking about. I know some of these people that make videos win, and I know they really basically want you to buy their stuff in order to give you more information. I don't have anything like that right now, so I'm going to go ahead and give you what I got. I won last year in the $1 Million Maker. I placed first place and tied with some people, and I made thousands of dollars. It was awesome, but here's how I did it, okay? And this is how I play now when it comes to single game entries. I figure out the strategy of the game, okay? How is the strategy of the game going to go? That determines how I'm going to pick my people. So the strategy is figuring out what's most likely to happen in the game, and the tactics are the people that I pick. So in this scenario right here, I picked Matthew Stanford, right? And then I got Cooper Kupp, okay? So I'm saying my strategy is that my tactics is that Stanford and Cooper Kupp are going to be the best 2 players. Stanford, of course, is going to be the best, so I'm looking at him to throw 3 to 4 touchdowns during the game. Cooper Kupp's going to be his best receiver and probably the best receiver in the game. Lockett on the other side. Sony Michel, who is basically, your second running back, that's going to be more of a sleeper. He's not expected to get a lot of points, but maybe I don't really need him to get a lot of points. Jackson on the same side, he's expected to do well, and then Swan on the other side for Seattle expected to do well. That's my strategy. That there's going to be a passing game. Okay, picking the backup running back is basically you're getting a cheap player that's going to give you some points most likely. So there's the tactics when it comes to that. Okay, so think about how you think this game's going to go, then put your players based on that. On this game, I'd expect it to be a high-scoring game at 53 points over and under, and the Rams are favored by 1 or 2 depending on what you look up, okay? This game is expected to be a higher-scoring game, and it's not expected to be a massive running game, okay? When it's 53 or more points, probably not going to be a lot. And of course, you have... with the Rams, you've got 3 good receivers and a good quarterback. On the other side, you got Lockett with Seattle and Wilson, and you've got Metcalf. So a lot of passing most likely. So make your strategy based on that. When you look at your entries, you're looking at a bunch of passing entries. Now, this is part of my strategy, and this is how I won last year to tie for the $1 Million Maker, was that I put in my strategies. I wasn't interested in playing the Thursday night game, and I put in 4 tickets. Okay, the 4 tickets that I put in 3 of them that were most likely to happen, and my last one I put in was less likely to happen. Okay, the last one I put in 1. It was less likely to happen. Right? So if you're putting in multiple entries, which you should be, you need to spread your entries out. Okay? When I started playing, I did the same thing too. My entries were based on what I thought was going to happen. So Stanford's going to pass a lot. I got Cooper Kupp. I've got Jackson. And then what I would do is make another ticket, and then I'd move some receivers around. But my focus was that, okay, it's going to be a passing game. And guess what? It turned into be a running game, and all your tickets lost. Okay? Why would you do that? Why? Because you think it's going to be a certain way. When it doesn't turn out that way, you lose all your tickets. So if you're putting in 10 tickets, at least 3 of your 10 should be outcomes that you don't expect. Okay? Because what happens is if when that does happen, which it does happen a lot, you haven't lost all your tickets. Okay? If it does turn out the way you wanted it to turn out, you got 7 tickets that are up there and 3 tickets that are bad. Okay? It's better to have it that way than to have all your tickets being gone. All right? Now, let's go over sleepers. In order to make your ticket, you're going to have to figure out who the sleepers are on this game. Okay, I'm going to go over this game in another video and explain who are the best sleepers in this. And of course, your sleepers are people that are not expected to do well. Of course, this is a beginner's video. That's what sleepers are. They're expected to make points, but they're not expected to be great players. Last week, one of the tight ends got the best player, and he wasn't expected to do anything. Okay, 0.01% picked him for MVP, and a total of 9 people got split $1 million. Okay, one guy had 2 of them. I think it was a mistake. He put 2 on accident. He ended up getting $66,000. So the spread was $33,000 a piece, which is, of course, is awesome, right? That does happen, but it's less likely to happen. So you do want to focus on your sleepers and a possibility that they're going to make points but not be the MVP. And a simple game like this one, you're most likely going to have your top players to be in the top positions, period. Most likely there's not going to be any sleepers. If there are, there's going to be people out that have them for MVP. It's just going to be a very small percentage. If you want to play that way, if you play max entries at 150 entries, you're going to have a certain percentages that are just bad choices, less likely to happen, and every once in a while, those bad ones are going to work. Super sleepers. A super sleeper is someone expected not to do anything, and they're going to get some points. Happens every week in football. There'll be a receiver out there who's expected to get nothing and ends up getting a pass for 40 yards or even a touchdown, okay? They are so rare and so hard to figure out. but you're more likely to hit him on the single game entries because one guy catching one pass can put him in the top 5, especially in a low scoring game. So you want to figure out who super sleepers are and super sleepers are. Now, this is something that I've heard nobody talk about. I call them duds. A dud is a player that is not going to get anything. Okay? The only reason why anybody would pick someone who's not going to get anything is because their strategy and their tactics are to put their top 5 or 4 people in there that are good. And that last one, they know they're going to get a 0. Okay? But they're fitting in those guys that they want. It's very rare to see people play like that. Last year, I saw somebody that win like that. This guy put in a quarterback, a backup quarterback that was not expected to play. The starting quarterback was not injured. Okay? He put him in there just so he could fit in those good guys that he wanted. The quarterback got hurt. The backup came in and started making points. This guy and I think one other person split the $1 million. Okay? That's insane, but it does happen. You can play like that. You can put your 4 guys or your 5 guys in based on DraftKings or FanDuel and leave one of those players in there that you know is not going to get anything, but there's a chance that he could, right? Chances are he's not, but you're fitting those players. That's what a dud is, okay? Strategy when it comes to tight ends, okay? If you know for a fact that the team's going to use a tight end all the time and the other team has a tight end, you might be heavy on tight ends. That is a strategy. This game is going to have a lot of tight ends, you think, therefore you're taking a couple tight ends. Backup tight ends do count. They are sleepers. A lot of them, some of them are really super sleepers. That could be a strategy. I think that the game is going to be low scoring. The tight ends are going to be used a lot. So I'm taking some quarterbacks, I'm taking running backs, and I'm taking heavily on the tight ends. That's a tactic right there. On the other side would be kickers. Kickers do come into play a lot, and a lot of times they're big surprised that the kicker turned out to be in the top 5 or top 6 players. They're not usually super expensive, but they're really in the medium to high range always. And a lot of times you don't want to go get that kicker. This week, for example, the kicker for, let's see, who is it? The kicker for the Rams is averaging over 10 points a game. All right? That's a big deal. The other kicker, Myers, he's not doing much at all. I think he's only kicked 2 field goals in 4 games, and I think he missed one. They're not big. Seattle's not big on the kicks. Okay, so if you're picking Seattle's kicker, it's not very logical. But if you think it's going to be a low-scoring game, picking 1 kicker or 2 kickers is a strategy that you can try. All right, running backs, you think the game's going to be heavy on the run. You're taking both running backs, or I've seen people take 2 running backs on one team. It's a strategy. It's not likely to happen, okay? But it's a strategy that you can have. So when you're sitting back and you're looking at your ticket, you have to know that if you're picking multiple entries, you need to move it around. At the end of the games, what you're going to find out is that you've got less tickets that are making money or that are high, but you're more likely to have one of the tickets really high because you've spread your tickets out. Okay, if you can afford to play 10 entries or 20 entries, or you're these people that you probably don't even know, these sharks that play on here that are doing 150 entries in, understand the logic in it. They have the advantage. They're putting in max entries, 150 entries, okay? No matter what happens, the odds are all in their favor. If you can't afford to put in max entries, then you can't play at that high level. But you do not have to be at max entries in order to win. Like I said, I did it with 4 tickets. And out of that 4 tickets, one tied for first place that won me thousands of dollars, and then my second one won $18. Okay? The odds in having 4 tickets and 2 of them winning are just insane, especially having one that actually got first place. So you can do it. You can win, but you need to watch videos and you need to spend some time on it. Most people don't have enough time to play this like hardcore and watch videos and watch all the games like I can, okay? I'm in a position where I can. And people that make videos, and especially the sharks that play on here, they have all the time in the world to do it. That's why you're watching videos to improve your game, and that's what you'll do every week. You'll get better and better because you're learning the teams, you're learning the strategies, and you'll actually see, chances are, I mean, you're watching this because you're losing money and you're not doing very well and you want to up your game. You will up your game. You will get better, and then you will really start to win money. And every time that you play, you have that chance to win first place. And that's really what the payoff is. Getting in the top 10, for the first time is like an amazing feeling, and you win a massive amount of money, but you're going to do it by actually watching some videos and being very logical with your picks. Do not put in too much money into this that you don't ever put any money that you can't afford, for one. Okay? Don't play your rent money. Don't do anything crazy like that. If all you got is $20 and you want to put, one ticket in that's worth $15 and then play a $5 one, then just play it. Yes, your odds aren't good, but you're doing it for fun. So have your fun. Do not play money that you can't afford to play. All right. I'll make a video this tomorrow that's going to talk about the individual strategy for Week 5, 2001, this game in particular. So look for that video, and I'll go through the players and explain to you who are most likely to be your studs and your sleepers and your super sleepers. Okay? Do your homework, make good picks, win. All right, this is Jera, Elite Champions DFS, signing out. Later.